All right, welcome to another episode of the Empowerment Perspective Podcast, Overtime. I go to by the name of Demiso Josie alongside.
Spencer's here.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I got my Annihilators. Matter of fact, every show we do from now on, I'm going to have Annihilators.
You got Annihilators?
Absolutely.
I guess I'll bring some Kool-Aid then to round it all out then.
There's Annihilators and Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Oh, man, we're going to be on cloud nine. Absolutely.
So just to explain to the people a little bit in terms of what we're doing some revamping on our website and with some of our programs that we're delivering. So you're going to see two different tabs on our website, theempowermentperspective.com. One is for our radio show, the Empowerment Perspective Radio Show, that airs on 99.9 FM and on SNJ Today live on Saturdays from 12 to 1. And then you're going to see the podcast, the overtime button on there for our podcast. So we're doing a little double dipping here and trying to revamp some things. Our last overtime one, we were in Egg Harbor Township with the Family Services.
Yeah.
How do you think that went, sir?
We had a lot of fun. It was live at the barbecue.
Live at the barbecue.
Not too often people invite me to barbecue, but the food was good, the conversation was good, so we had a lot of fun. Plus, we got a lot of good information.
I was waiting for Nas' song to come on in Large Professor.
Here's what we'll do, right? We'll get the rights to be able to play music, and we'll remix that one a little bit later.
I'm glad you said that. I'm not going to let the cat out the bag yet, but we are working on something major. Hopefully, it's going to be released in January of 2019. Trust me when I tell you, 2019 is going to be huge for the Empowerment Perspective Group. And we just getting started. We celebrated our birthday, 1 year birthday on August 14th, the podcast. And we are doing some things. Programs are coming your way, professional development, speaking engagements. We have one coming up on September 8th that was rescheduled.
Yeah, we had one that was rescheduled on the 18th, but because of, I guess, the building over at Atlantic Cape Community College, they actually moved it to September 8th because they have another program that they're running in Atlantic City. So, kids are going to have to wait just a bit longer to hear us speak.
That's all good. It gives them more time. So if you got kids out there between the 12 and 17, I believe it is. I'll put the information up on the website so that you can register. I think it's $15 per child. Come and listen to some good speakers outside of us. We're going to shut it down. Or you're going to shut it down because I don't think I'm going to be able to make it.
I'm going to talk you into it.
You're going to try to talk me into it.
Exactly. We're going to get the hotel room.
You just messed it up right there. You said hotel room.
Absolutely.
You messed it up right there. Big shout out to everyone who donated to our back to school drive. We got some items, still got stuff coming in. By the time you hear this podcast, though, it'll be over. But so thank you for those that did donate. Hopefully, we got some kids off to a good start of the school year. Our last radio show we did on education. How do you think that went?
Oh, Pete came in and dropped knowledge. So he was talking about mindfulness. I'm still not too sure if mindfulness will work in my personal life. I come home 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm too sure that anybody want to hear about no mindfulness.
We had this conversation in the car ride on the way up here, and what you failed to understand is I could tell my wife I'm in the moment. It didn't happen. I'm just pretend like whatever I did at 3 o'clock in the morning didn't happen. I'm in the moment. I can't talk about it.
I can hear your wife saying, "Well, how about this moment? You go sleep on the couch. How about that?"
The couch is comfortable.
She's going to probably take the pillows off, so you just actually sleep like on the bed of the couch.
Got you. No, that's rough.
Yeah,
it is. Right
in your back.
I understand.
Like the popcorn and the chips that you had 2 weeks ago, or that Pops made left in the seats and didn't pick up.
I just vacuumed that thing. So, kids are always building forts and stuff like that, so I had to, vacuum in there. We also have a special radio program coming up. One on financial literacy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's coming out on the 15th. So we have the scholarship lady that's going to be there, and she's going to be talking about getting parents and students and parents, students in the community ready to be able to get scholarships at a young age. And then we have a financial planner that's coming in, and she's going to actually be really talking about making sure that you have your finances in order so you can actually afford college.
I heard you got your financial situation straight. Now you don't do the Kevin Hart thing. I got 2 bank accounts. See where my money went. It's all good. Then we have a women in media one that's coming up as well. So like I said, we're setting some things up for some big things to happen.
Yes.
But we are in a place I've never been before.
It's my first time on campus as well.
First time on campus.
Typically I drive right past here on my way to Philly. But we're at Rutgers Camden. Welcome. Yeah, so we're here actually with the representatives of Team Sharp. So we have Tatiana and we have Maya. And Maya is from Philly, Massachusetts, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Bronx,
Queens,
yes, all over the place.
I'm from Brooklyn.
You're claiming Brooklyn. but you've
I'm
been.
claiming Brooklyn. No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh.
We had the famous cheesecake conversation just now.
Juniors is only famous because they like to take people's money. Regular cheesecake.
Some of is sour.
I am very sour, especially when I got that bill.
The thing I find interesting about New York is that you always have to claim your borough, no matter where you are in the world, and then it goes more deeper than that. So you say that I'm from Flatbush, but where in Flatbush? But no matter where you go, there's always someone from Brooklyn somewhere. I don't care where you are. We were in Atlanta. I think ran into somebody was from Brooklyn. Like we were in Chicago, Brooklyn. I was like, this is ridiculous. Is everyone? I think people are lying and just claiming it sound cool like you from Brooklyn.
Well, I had an idea that I was actually going to do. I was going to actually move to Brooklyn for the summer, just so I can claim Brooklyn as well.
Plain Brooklyn. You just wanted the junior cheesecake.
I was going to bring my own cheesecake.
Gonna make you walk all the way there like Buffy.
Yeah. And get a butter cookie.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
No, we didn't explain where you are from. We had a conversation as well, and you enlighten the people where you from.
Sure. I'm a native of Ukraine, and that's where I lived. Well, soon not a half life anymore, but spent all my young years, and I came to the States about 12 years ago. Or even 13 years ago, actually, to pursue my graduate studies actually on this campus,
Really?
Rutgers Camden.
I was about to ask, how did you get from the Ukraine to here?
Yes. I was very lucky to get a fellowship with your government.
I don't know if we can say by
Yes, well,
we're gonna say the U.S.
with the Department of State,
Well,
yes, and to get my master's degree in public administration and continued, got married and continued on to my PhD studies at Temple University and ended up
I
founding.
liked you for a reason.
There you go.
Temple's
Fellow
everywhere.
owl.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's right.
Back episodes, people talk about
Absolutely.
too. I had a different theory that you was actually on your way coming from Philadelphia, and you didn't know how to get off of 76, and you just wind up.
He was like, I said,
I'm just gonna stay here. Let's go back to school I can go to. I'm just gonna stay here.
No. Camden is home.
Okay, that's cool.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So let's talk about the wonderful things that you guys are doing in the
Yeah,
community. Can you
sure.
explain what your organization is about?
Sure. So my husband and I, we founded Teen Sharp in 2009. While both of us were in graduate school, he was pursuing his PhD studies at University of Delaware, and I was at Temple University. Some questions that we were grappling with at that point was how do we increase diversity among sort of the executive circles, right, the top leadership in the country. Him pursuing studies in political science, he was very much interested in that particular process. And when we started looking at some research around the common background or common experiences that folks who end up in top leadership positions in the country, what are those commonalities that exist? What was coming up over and over and over again was the higher education network that they were a part of. So it appears that the where you go to college really, really matters. That led us to sort of designing Teen Sharp and a theory behind Teen Sharp. We were interested in working with African American Latino youth to prepare them for admission into a top tier college, a college that would have the financial resources to make it very affordable for them to achieve to attend college that has all the academic support services so they can get through their college years, and a college that also has alumni, the type of alumni network that would really be able to sort of propel our scholars into, to become the firsts. There are still many firsts in the, 2018, as you guys know, to be made. And we are looking for our young people to become some of those firsts. And so we prepare young people to attend and to thrive at our nation's top colleges. That's what we do every day, but with a greater vision of creating a diverse talent pipeline for the careers of tomorrow.
Why did you choose that particular population to serve?
The reason is very personal to my husband. He is African American and very much identifies with the type of student who we serve, and is also able to reflect on his own college years. He's a college graduate, as I mentioned. Has several graduate degrees. However, he does identify himself as a poster child for undermatching, which is a phenomenon that occurs to a whole lot of our students of color and low-income students, where they go to colleges that are below their academic potential. And a lot of times it comes with a pretty hefty, bill for education. Overall, this is for us a long-term community rebuilding strategy, and it's a social justice issue. Right. In 2018, it should not be such that our top-tier institutions, the institutions that are best resourced and best equipped, do not increase in their accessibility. They continue to be, the African American Latino students continue to be gravely underrepresented. And among, if we look at sort of top research universities, the number of African American students that attend those schools has not increased over the past 20 years, despite all the progress that some people might talk about in other spheres. Right. So it is very much a social justice issue. It's a mismatch of resources, and it's a very unfair one. Right. Because the type of students that end up going to top tier institutions a lot of times do not need all those kind of robust support services to graduate and have life-altering, trajectory-changing experiences that would truly set an African American Latino child, low-income child that goes to those places on a different trajectory, ultimately having ripple effect for their community.
Okay. Now, you are part of this. What's your role in the organization?
So I'm the site manager for our site here at in Camden, serving students throughout Southern New Jersey and Philadelphia. And so I run the programming and are responsible for student outcomes here.
Why did you decide to jump on board with this initiative?
So I'm actually an alum of Teen Sharp. I was in the program when I was in high school and was really excited about the opportunity to help facilitate other students through the college process and through also the process of becoming a leader in their various contexts. And so, I was very excited about that.
How did you hear about the program?
Funny that you ask.
Yeah. So, the founders of Teen Sharp, Tatiana and her husband's actually my uncle. So...
You can get a job anyway. You graduated for now. You can get a job anyway.
I'm talking about networks. That's how things work.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, and so that's how I found out about it.
Wow. Okay.
And to add to this, Maya is the inspiration behind Teen Sharp. There are many sort of research-based ways to say why, in 2009, on a nice August afternoon, we decided to spend time at Barnes & Noble and then go to our pastor and pitch an idea and start it in the basement of our church and then grow so that we can be all across the greater Philly region. But the truth of the matter is that we did have a niece, Maya, at the time who was in middle school, and both my husband and I'm foreign, I'm from Ukraine. I do not know the ways of American education system. My husband is African American and his mom graduated from college the same year he graduated from college. So he was not particularly...
Say that one more time?
His mother graduated from college the same year he graduated from college. And so he was not particularly well versed in how to navigate the system. And so both of us, the little bit of knowledge that we gained at that point in 2009 or before, we wanted to share with our middle school aged niece and get her to dream about Harvard and MIT. By the way, by that time, we've never stepped foot on those campuses. But she was the reason why we drove up to Boston and we went to Harvard and we went to MIT on a rainy day, to sort of paint the vision. But what it showed us is that, we have room in the back of the car for at least 2 more kids. And then my husband was like, well, you know what, I can drive a bus, And then we were like, well, if we're going to try to take more kids, like kids from our church to go to Harvard and MIT, we got to make sure they can ask good questions. So we got to have some seminars, to prepare them for that. So that's how it all started. But Maya is the inspiration behind all of this. And now she came full circle and works to continue doing the same thing with younger students. So I think it's a pretty neat story.
That's awesome. So
Was-
let's
yeah.
talk about your student population real quick in terms of who actually participate and how do they get linked up with you guys. So how does that process work?
Yeah, so we send out applications throughout schools to different teachers, school counselors, do various forms of recruitment.
Wait a minute. I didn't get one.
Not yet. Not yet, sir.
All right, okay. I'm sorry.
And then students come here to Rutgers Camden and they have a conversation with Teen Sharp staff, and we get a chance to see, are they, intellectually curious? Do they like school? Or what types of things are they excited about? What are their passions? And are they a good fit for the program? And so once we have that conversation with them, we're able to make a decision on whether or not they're admitted into the program.
So what talk about the program itself? Like if I'm a student that's coming into your program, what does that look like for me?
Sure. So the program takes place on Saturdays, every Saturday, all day Saturday, year round. For, here at Rutgers Camden, we have a middle school program as well as the high school program. So we start with students in grade 7, and they are with us all the way until they graduate from high school. And then once in Teen Sharp, always in Teen Sharp, we continue following them through our College Success program all the way through college and beyond. When the students in high school come to Teen Sharp, the first 2.5 hours are spent taking college level classes. So they are in non-credit bearing courses that are taught by university professors from Drexel, professors from Temple, classes that are in humanities and social sciences. That allow for them to grapple with some of the issues that they're seeing around them, that they're seeing on a day-to-day basis, and grapple by theorizing, by becoming familiar with the theories of the scholars of color, which is a very, very important component for us. Some years back, we asked our students to name 10 African American intellectuals. They barely came up with 2. We asked them to name 10 white intellectuals, and that was not a problem.
Right.
They quickly said that. So it's very important for us to provide our scholars with an opportunity to become familiar with a genius that is in the community and learn about the state of the affairs through the eyes of the scholars of color. The afternoon is spent in math classes. So we know that proficiency rate in math are not good.
Right.
And it's a big reason why students a lot of times get hooked up, get stuck in remedial classes in college, whatnot. We don't want that for our students. So we want them to be definitely on grade level. So we test them and we place them in individualized groups where they are going through remedial education in math, and then for some of them going into sort of acceleration mode to move faster. The goal for every Teen Sharp students is to finish at least one class of calculus by the time they graduate from high school, which, by the way, the number of African American students in particular across the country in AP calculus classes has been declining. So for Teen Sharp, I believe over 90% of our students do end up at that level. And then they also participate in classes around habits of academic success and early college and career awareness. So that's sort of a typical Saturday. I want to mention that when our students are in classes, every other week parents are in classes too. So we have a very strong parent program that is led by a parent of an alum of Teen Sharp who is a sophomore at Swarthmore College. And she leads workshops and conversations to allow parents to share information. I mean, they are the ultimate experts, and sort of each one help one model. Getting back to the proverbial village is something that we believe in, but also helping parents learn the new research that we know behind what it takes to get a child ready for college, how to empower them, to be a partner with the school building, right? So, they learn about how to take most advantage out of teacher-parent conferences, how to advocate for your child's needs if you do not believe those are met, by the school, and they also learn about what is the senior year going to look like, right? And how do I pace myself as a child of a freshman student or eighth grade student, knowing what's going to be expected in the senior year. Throughout the week, students are working one-on-one with our academic advisors. So Maya is advising students, and we have staff of we call them pre-college success managers, because their job is to do just that. Identify what the needs are for a given child, and make sure that in the time that a child is with us, that we address all of those needs, positioning strongly for college admissions. In the senior year, we guide students step by step through the college application process. So just in the fall month alone, every single senior receives about 70 hours of advising and support to submit college applications. We scrutinize everything, their college list, to make sure that it's as strategic as possible, with the goal of admitting them to the colleges that would be sort of a match for them, the right academic match for them, or even a stretch for them, that would be financially right decisions. And make sure that they can get options, right? Options are good. We don't want to settle. We don't want to be desperate. We want to be really evaluating what's the best situation. So senior year is a very, very intensive year for our students. And academic advisors also match our students to other enrichment opportunities. So we've spent hundreds of hours of time over the past close to a decade, going through internet and looking for a variety of excellent free or scholarship-based enrichment opportunities, so that every single summer our students are meaningfully engaged, and again in opportunities that when admission officer looks at this, they recognize what this is, and they understand that somebody else endorsed them, so therefore it makes it less risky for me to select them to come to my campus. That ranges from students. Maya, by the way, can talk about her own enrichment opportunities that she's done, but our students have gone to Morocco and China on a scholarship program to study languages. They participate all the time on university-based programs, learning entrepreneurship, taking classes, learning about engineering and things of that sort.
I'm sitting here like, I wish this program was around when I was in school, because there was no one that guided me through that process. Especially with the school that I went to, there was not a lot of people that looked like me, let's put it that way, especially in teaching and guidance counseling. I don't even think I had a black teacher until I got to Temple. So it just kind of was like floating on my own. There was no guidance counselor telling me, well, you should be applying to these schools, you should be doing this and going through that whole entire process. So Maya, I want you to walk us through your experience. Like, what was that like for you as a student, and what did it offer you?
Yeah. So I participated in a variety of different things when I was in high school. So I was mentioning that I grew up in Brooklyn, so I did go to Performing Arts High School in New York. And so it was one of the top performing arts high schools for the region, but also very strong academically. And so my high school career looked like taking a lot of AP classes, challenging myself academically, always being engaged. And so my senior year, I was able to secure a fellowship where I was able to give college prep workshops to my peers. And so the things that I was learning in Teen Sharp, I was then able to manifest in the community that I was a part of back in New York. And so that's really that's at the essence of what we want for our Teen Sharp students. We want a peer-led college-going movement, college access movement. And so that was the essence of my experience.
Now, you spoke of, your students leaving and doing a lot of service projects. Where did you do your service projects at?
So that was part of my service project. Community service, just generally in high school. That was a long time ago. I'm sorry, you all. But yeah.
You're not that old. Come on there.
You guys realize how long it's been since I've been in high school.
So I think what I find very interesting was many of our scholars, as an advisor for many of them in those early days, my husband and I doing everything, you know,
Okay.
and all their stories are fresh in my head. As you know, I'm sure, you know, in your experience of
You don't
doing
know.
school
You do not
counseling.
want to know what's going on in life.
But as a, you know, working with students, like I remember all the, you know, battles and points of, you know, contention, right? And then how they were able to overcome and like what we were cheering for, right? In a way that, you know, their life is very rich and they forget, you know, apparently. But, you know, Maya, for example, you know, led a number of different organizations in her high school. You know, she led the Black Student Union. She led the, what was it, a gospel choir.
Yeah.
Group.
You couldn't remember none of that stuff?
Yeah. she became a part of a very prestigious Ella Fellowship, which is a leadership fellowship for girls in high school.
Okay.
And so they were also the group supporting her through implementation of those college workshops that she mentioned. Maya became a youth delegate to the Grad Nation Summit, which was in Washington, D.C., organized by Colin Powell.
She's trying to be humble, right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna let somebody else blow me up.
Yes.
I get it.
You know, and it was a part of really rich conversations around how do we decrease student dropout, and you know, especially as young people to young people, like on a peer-to-peer level.
Oh, we need to talk. I'm doing my dissertation on the school to prison pipeline. We need to talk. So, for sure. That's interesting. You guys are doing some phenomenal work for
absolutely.
sure. In the area, and again, I just wish that it, you know, more of it was around. I know you guys are obviously heavy here in Rutgers, Camden, and the Camden area, but don't forget about us out there in the sticks as well. So, I mean, you guys are definitely doing some great things.
Well, I want to mention that we actually here in Camden, we welcome students on Saturdays who come from all over South Jersey and even some of Central Jersey. So, you know, Jackson, New Jersey, you know, the word of mouth, one parent came and then the word of mouth went, and we have a whole crew of people now carpooling and bringing kids here. You know, we have lots of folks coming from Burlington, Willingboro area, you know, and we are definitely building out our presence here in the city of Camden. We have about 30% of our students come across the bridge from Philadelphia, you know, so, you know, this is sort of a call for anybody who is watching. We are currently recruiting, and we are recruiting, you know, if you believe you can get here, you know, on Saturday, you know, our folks drive, you know, 40 minutes to an hour, you know, please consider.
Listen, Kareem will come pick you up. Do Uber service just specifically for the program.
Talk about the cost. We had talked about that on the
Right.
phone.
Yes.
So tell our listeners about the cost of what it's actually going to cost.
Yeah, so it cost us over $5,000 per child per each year to provide them with sort of these extensive wraparound services. So it's not a cheap endeavor. However, we do not charge that to parents. You know, that's our burden to fundraise, and we are very blessed to have a lot of supporters among foundations and businesses who are investing in this. Plus our, you know, university and school district partners who also, enter into MOU agreements with us and chip in to have cohorts of students participate. For the students and parents, the cost is minimal. So the maximum amount, and it's prorated by income, but the maximum amount that parents would pay in terms of registration fee is $350.
Wow.
And again, that's prorated if for families in other income brackets. Our scholars are also responsible for raising the cost of college tours. So students visit at least 8 campuses a year, and we go, you know, as this year we are trying to head to North Carolina, right? So that's going to be, I think, the lowest point down south, and we go, of course, to Boston and all the everything in between to visit different colleges. So in New Jersey, we're doing 2 overnight college tours. In our site in Delaware, we're doing 2-day tours, 1 overnight tour. You know, and so students raise the half of the cost of participating in that, which is $300, as part of their leadership assignment. So to learn how to fundraise and how to position yourself as an investment and begin to build out a network that can actually support you in other words besides the encouragement and,
Right.
you know, but put some $10 behind your success.
So that $350 is for the entire year.
Yep.
All right, this is what we're going to do, and I'm doing this live on we're going to give a scholarship for a student to come to the program. But I don't know how we're going to get that out there, but I'm going to have to push this out earlier than I had anticipated. But we'll put our money where our mouth is and make sure somebody
That's
gets to your
awesome. Thank
program for sure.
You said 1 or 2. You said 1 or 2. Let's do 2.
It's like, what's the commitment?
Let's do 2.
Mr. Petty said we doing 2. We're going to do 2. We'll do 2.
Woohoo!
All right.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate
No
it.
problem. No problem. 'Cause I really just, reading up on you guys and hearing you guys talk, I definitely see some space for more. I would want more people to be able to utilize those services. Because
Absolutely.
it's something really, really important, and it's close to my heart too. Because if you listen to my brother's podcast, he's electrical engineering, and he was one of probably the only one in AP classes African American. So it was a lonely road for him, and he wasn't being guided, and he talked about how first year at UPenn he did terrible, and no one taught him how to network, no one taught him how to study. He went from having straight A's to I got a C now. Are you crazy?
Yes.
So to have a program like that for those students is definitely something that's needed in our communities for sure.
Yeah, and teaching them how to invest in themselves. A lot of times when you start investing in yourselves, you tend to have a different attitude. You find yourself standing up late at night, especially with all this equipment that we bought, thinking about how you can actually make this work. So for a student early in life to start investing in themselves, they'll put a little bit more energy, a little bit more drive, and their approach will be a little bit more different because now they have skin in the game.
That's a great point. And really, that's where this podcast and the organization came from. Our spirit was just believing in ourselves and saying, I think I could do that. Let's see. We'll figure it out. I just felt like I keep saying this, we live in a day and time where there's no reason to have an excuse. With all the resources and technology that we have, you should be able to have an idea, find out what you're passionate about, and go get it. And that's what the Empowerment Perspective was all about, trying to get people the tools to be able to do those things. And we're living proof of what's going on.
Step out and just do it. Because at the end of the day, you really only get 24 hours. That's all you really get. And some people are lucky enough to get 24 hours. Some people are lucky enough to get 17 or even 5. So, live your life and really just have fun and celebrate your life. There's no reason that you should be thinking about, I can't do this. Like, we have a partner, and we've taken the word can't out of her vocabulary.
Can't say it.
She can't say it.
I can say it.
She can't say it. Absolutely. Because every other word, I can't. No, Stacey. No, I'm saying, Stacey, you can't say can't anymore.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
awesome.
I did the same thing with my daughter. So my daughters are ridiculous because she was like, well, if I can't say can't, then I won't do that. Then it's like, you got that.
Like can't and won't.
Right. So the word can't does not exist. I don't know what that means anyway. So it's just you just go out there and try to blaze your trail. So I just want more people to be able to believe in themselves, especially you, Stacey. I know we keep saying your name. Just believe in yourself and just go out there and do it. What's the worst that could possibly happen? If your heart is in the right place and your mind's in the right place, at the end of the day, who knows where this is going to take you.
Absolutely.
But I will say this for Stacey: the worst thing is probably going to happen is I'm going to laugh at you. That's probably about it.
Oh, we definitely laugh at you. Definitely going to laugh and make fun of you, that's for sure. No doubt. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Yes.
Let's switch some gears a little bit. So,
And you didn't watch the podcast. See, this is why you have to be a student.
I didn't,
You
so-
always have to be
Yeah.
a student.
we like to have fun on our podcast at the end. So before we do that, though, how can people get in contact with you and your organization?
Yeah. So we have our website is teensharp.org, TEENSHARP.org. And my email for anyone who's interested in our program here is maija.hall@teensharp.org.
Okay. No phone number? We can't call?
Yeah, yeah. So
People like to call.
that's true. So you can call 646-573-8114.
And at some point, when we talk about it off air, though, we want to link up because I definitely want to do the scholarship thing. So we want to, make sure we have that process going for those kids as well. So we have a tradition on this show to find out. We have a very important research question. We've been as far west to Chicago, as far south as Atlanta, trying to find out if people are petty.
Yes.
My husband should have been here. He calls himself Mr. Petty.
Oh, that's right. We got to have a little podcast.
It's another one.
Competition.
He's like, I'm that petty,
It's another one out there.
You call yourself
So
Mr.
you're also
Petty?
Mr. Petty.
That's what people call me. So
He's Mr.
that's
Petty.
interesting. So what's he petty about? Give me an example.
A lot of
Was he
things.
petty today?
Oh, he's petty all the time.
Every day. What did he do petty today?
He's a political advocacy guy, so he'll tell you his stories. I cannot,
Oh, we know.
We're
We're going to have a head-to-head
Yes.
petty
Find out
competition.
who the petty is.
Petty is. That is awesome.
He is petty.
Mr. Petty of the Year.
The Mr. Petty of the Year. Well, how about you? You think you're petty?
No,
Everyone
No.
says that. How about
cannot
you?
be.
I can be.
That's at
I
least,
certainly can be.
at least that's
You're from Brooklyn. I already know you
She's
petty.
petty. She cannot be not be petty. You know.
It's in her blood. It's in your DNA to
That's
be
right.
petty.
Argue.
I don't know. I guess
That's
so.
interesting. So you're really believing that you're not petty at all.
I would,
You don't
no.
have petty moments.
You do have petty moments.
I might. No. Yeah, I don't know.
You have petty moments.
Okay, test me.
I don't know.
Test you.
I'm gonna leave that one to you.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the phone.
Okay.
Is there ever a time that you call someone and you can't get them, you leave a message, and then they call you right back, and they can't get you, and then you call them again, and they still don't answer, that you say, you know what, I'm not going to call this person anymore?
Dude, I work with students.
Yeah.
That is my daily life.
So you
That
hear
is
the
my
pettiness
daily
coming out.
coming.
life.
Pettiness is coming out.
That's my daily life. So no,
No, that's
I
not
cannot
petty.
say I'm not
You
gonna
can-
call you anymore. They do it all the time. I call them, they
sound
don't pick
angry.
up, and then they.
Okay. You sound
Yeah,
angry.
I'm not angry. I'm passionate. I'm
No, that's
passionate.
not passion, that's anger.
No, I'm passionate.
That's
You know,
anger.
I'm like, you had enough to answer your text message, and you will not call me
I'm
back.
looking at the levels on the phone.
The level on this here.
Yes.
is
Passionate.
We're going,
I work with students. I see all sorts of funny
We're in the
things.
red
I don't
now.
be petty.
that's
That was a
petty.
petty response.
Was it a petty response? It was not the petty would have been if I don't call them, I don't pick it up ever. That was the petty thing. I said I do, but I'm passionately,
I'm looking at the levels. You're in the red.
not agreeing. I'm in the red
Yes. That's
because I'm just coming closer to you because like I'm trying
No,
to convince
that's-
you of different things.
No, that's petty. That really is petty.
Well, that's my husband rubbing off of me.
That's all.
Rubbing off of
Blaming
rubbing off of
him. Blaming him is
He's
petty.
petty. Okay, well then I blame him for a lot of things. So yeah, I am petty. I guess.
Pettiness.
We also
That
have-
might be a new theory.
Yeah.
Displaced pettiness. Displaced pettiness. That's what's happening right now.
Could
You're
be.
gonna blame your husband for your pettiness.
But that's the definition of pettiness, no?
That is true. That is
Kind of sorry.
You need to be contextualizing petty. I'm not petty in a professional sense. I can see myself being petty
And the
at
person.
on a
home.
personal sense.
At home.
That's what we're
Okay.
talking about here. We got
Alright, so let me ask this, right? Because I have a tendency to leave this much orange juice left in the container. Does that mess with you
Oh,
at
that
all?
will mess with me. That will mess with me.
That's petty. Wow, you can't do that. Man. Just drink
What do you
orange.
mean? Well, my thing is, if you see, I think the rule is if you drink the last of it, then you need to go to the store and replace it.
So you.
So you leave
That
just
much-
enough.
If you just enough.
What messes me up even more
Swallow.
is toilet tissue that is left.
What?
Just no toilet tissue and nobody replaced
Nobody
it.
replaced it.
I'm like, you clearly used the last bit of it.
Mm,
Why did you not replace it? So who are you waiting to replace it?
the next person.
You?
But-
They don't need it anymore.
I'm done.
Makes no sense.
I went to the bathroom
Makes
already.
no sense. Makes no sense.
So that's what drives you bananas, the
Oh,
toilet
yeah.
paper.
Oh yeah, toilet paper.
Interesting.
That is.
What drives you bananas?
What drives me bananas? Can we talk?
So if your significant other says, "Can we talk?"
It's like somebody just slapped you in the back of the neck, and you get that tingling feeling. It's like, can we talk? Oh, can we talk? It's absolute work because I don't have anything to say. I really don't. I talk all day.
That's true. What about you? What's your pet peeve?
Being ignored. So I will say that I'm very petty. Like if I text someone and they don't respond for 2 hours, I won't respond for 8.
Keeping tabs.
So you wait a minute. So you keep a running clock? How
Yeah.
much time somebody has to respond?
So depending on the person, yeah.
What if they're busy, like they're doing a podcast? That doesn't matter.
No. That's rough.
That is rough. Oh wow.
Let's go to. We're going to go to music. We always ask our guests give us the top 3. No, let's do our traditional.
You the question?
Let's do a traditional question.
Okay, so we just had apocalypse. You just got the news. The apocalypse is coming. Right, world is going to end. You only have room for 5 albums. Which albums are you grabbing? Because this is all you're going to have. This is it. No more music.
You want to listen to these same albums? Let's do 3. 5 might
want
be
3?
rough.
All right,
3
3.
albums.
So you got 3 albums. Everything needs your grab. All you have is room for 3
Now,
hours.
don't forget, you might have the opportunity to rewrite music as well.
It's going to start over with
So
you.
I can make my
Start over.
own music.
Right, it's going to start over with those.
You like performing arts, so this will be interesting.
Yes.
What do you have from the UK?
I'm having nothing.
Do you like music?
I like music, but I can do without it.
Huh? No, you can't.
How's
Yeah, I
that
can.
possible?
I can.
What happens
I
when
don't
he-
remember the last time I listened to music.
What happens when your husband gets on your nerves? You just don't turn the volume up so you can't hear anything?
No, there is no volume I can turn. I only can turn my own volume.
You just talk louder.
I just talk. Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
It's funny. All right, so you
My
three
top
out.
3 albums, definitely Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Really?
That's gonna be, yeah.
Let's stop
That's an
there for a
essential.
second. You see her perform recently, in the last, say, 5 years.
I haven't seen her live. I've seen videos of her performing
Do
recently.
yourself a favor and don't go.
Well, I mean, I also heard that she shows up hours late, so.
It's just going to ruin your experience. Just put it down. I'm a big, huge Lauryn Hill fan, but she doesn't own the publishing rights to her music,
Right.
so the music's different. So she's, singing the same lyrics, but the music's different. I left her concert when she was here with Nas a couple months ago. I left.
Really?
It was that bad. Sorry, Lauryn Hill. I love you to death, but
Wow.
you gotta get that fixed. Continue.
Well, I'm bringing her album. And definitely Lemonade, Beyonce. I think that there's. What are those facial expressions for?
Explain that one. Go ahead.
Explain it.
Yeah, you about to
The
explain
album
it.
is so multifaceted. There's like formation with like if I want to dance, if I want to
There's a
turn up.
lot of male
There's-
passion in that album, too.
She was angry.
Yeah,
a
she
little bitter.
was. She's being petty with that album.
But then there's
She's very bitter in that album.
there's the slow songs that I think it's a
Okay.
solid album. My third one, I think I need to think about that a little bit more.
Interesting. You didn't take anybody from Brooklyn.
My last consideration was definitely a Biggie album because I listened to him a lot.
I pegged you more of a Mos Def type person.
I also like Mos Def, but I don't, I only have 3.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Biggie. I
yeah,
don't know if I'm bringing a Biggie album.
really.
Yeah. An entire body of work that I have to live with? No.
Forever.
Forever. I'm
I
definitely
love
bringing
Biggie.
Nas Illmatic. That's definitely coming. That's my.
I mean,
Take
that's a-
Jay-Z. Like, you went Lemonade. Lemonade is a popular drink.
She doesn't like Jay-Z. You know that by the Lemonade reference. She's on
Is that why you don't like
She's in
it?
the Beehive right
But
You
my
a Beehive member?
I am a Beehive
See?
member. Top 3 albums, Jay-Z over Biggie?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No? He made Family Feud. Nobody wins.
That's true. He did, but
Yeah. But you gotta look at the entire, like, I can't listen to an entire Biggie song from beginning, or album from beginning to end. There's 1 or 2 songs I'm skipping. Either album.
you're missing out on an experience.
No.
No. I have to think about that too.
No. Okay, so we was in Chicago. What's the name of the podcast we did? My favorite DJ.
My favorite DJ.
So Kyle.
I know exactly what
Yeah. So Kyle also is a really big Biggie fan. So shout out to Kyle. He's doing his thing out there in Chicago. We've been talking about hip hop love songs, and one of the love songs that he selected was one by Biggie. And the song was just me and my.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to think of the first line. When I first met you, my first idea was a trick.
Biggie lyrics really shouldn't be repeated.
Oh,
out of context. Biggie lyrics really shouldn't be repeated out of context.
Because you're taking this with you. There's apocalypse is coming. You took it with you. That's what you have.
That's true. But
Oh my goodness. So do you watch movies?
I do,
All right. Have you seen Titanic?
Yes.
of course.
Okay. Last scene, they're in the water,
Yes,
on the board.
yes.
Was it-
I'm crying.
You were crying.
I am
What?
crying.
Was it
I'm
petty?
bawling. I need
Was it
therapy
petty
after
of
that.
her to not share the board with the guy?
Heck yes. Heck yes.
You think he
Then I
should?
would not have been crying. It would have been a happy ending.
What do you mean? What? Oh, I'm confused. You went from crying to joy.
No, if that was the ending, I would have preferred it 100 times over.
No, he could have still died, but
Why would he die?
At least try to save him a little bit. Like she might have just took his head and put it under the water.
I know,
Like,
she just
get
like
that diamond.
She just like and you're like, oh, no, it was terrible. It was terrible. She
So he
shared.
should have been able to get on the board.
Yeah.
What about that diamond?
What
you think
diamond?
that diamond she had in her pocket?
You think she knew it was there?
I don't remember about diamond. I was so focused on him dying in the song. I don't remember no
She
diamond.
had a diamond. It was like this big.
I don't remember any diamond. It was all emotion to me.
It's almost you have to watch the movie again.
All right, outside of
Some of the movies I'll never repeat watch, and I love to repeat watch. Not Titanic.
But
Really?
you already knew the ending before you watched the movie. You knew the boat
you
was
knew
going
the
to
boat was
crash.
going to
Yeah, but I didn't know like I didn't connect to the characters and so on. Like I'm I'm a very like visual person. Like since I was a kid, I was like that's why I cannot watch anything like gruesome. Like I feel it all. So I was like there. I was there with
Like-
them.
like
I know the
Jaws?
story of Titanic, but I was there.
Like Jaws, you can't watch Jaws.
Oh no, no, never.
I think that
Why
movie
would
was
you?
hilarious.
Jaws? You hear the music. You couldn't hear the music.
It's time to go here. Outside
Isn't
of
there
Titan-
another like shark movie just came out?
Oh,
Wait,
what?
so-
The Meg.
The Meg, yes.
I think
I
I'm
almost took my daughters to go see
Go see the Meg.
it just because.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Outside of Titanic, what was the last movie that made you cry?
Oh dang.
Do you cry?
Yeah.
Like every day?
No.
You think
only
about
in the
that-
movies.
that question.
I cry only in the movies.
Only in the movies.
I'm a movie crier. Yeah, only when I watch movies. When was the last movie that made me cry? So I have 2 kids, a toddler and a 4-month-old. So that means my movie times are like 2 times a year. So it's long memory.
Yeah, you're thinking.
What-
Yeah.
So I don't cry ever, even in like
That's true.
movies. Yeah. So the last movie to make me cry. I don't remember actually. So there was a movie about there was like a movie that we watched together when I was very young,
What's
and
his
it
name?
was like
Cochise?
Cool.
Yes.
no, it was about apartheid in South Africa, and Morgan Freeman was in it. That's all. That's what I remember.
It was on today, actually. Well, shoot, I don't think I watched it. As a matter of fact, you said that.
Yeah, well, that's the last movie that made me cry,
Huh.
and I was
Interesting. Very interesting.
No, I cried with their, I think I watched I think the last movie that made me cry was the Kitty movie.
Which one was that?
Which one? The Mexican tradition movie that was just recently. See, what is it called?
He has kids. I'll have kids. What
Yeah.
movie was it?
What is it called? I always blank out on that.
I'm still waiting to go see Moana. I heard that.
Moana made me cry.
Really?
Big time.
Huh?
Big time. I love Moana.
How
I
did that
love-
movie make you cry?
How would it not make you cry? It's a movie
girl-
about women
I know.
empowerment. Girl
I know
goes
that.
and she achieves, and then it's a beautiful scene. She goes
You
and the
don't
beast
like-
becomes a beautiful woman. Like, oh my gosh.
You don't like when boats
then-
crash. That's what that is. Anything about boats.
I'm all about emotion. I told you, in my feelings, right?
That's Andy Rosen. Are you guys going to do In My Feelings dance?
I'm
No.
definitely not gonna.
My
do
daughter's
that.
doing it. Three-year-old.
Kiki.
I'm like Kiki. She's like, are you walking?
Well, we definitely thank you guys for your time
Yes.
and having a little bit of fun with us. Continue your wonderful work that you're
Absolutely.
doing.
Thank
If there's
you.
any
Thank
way
you.
that the Empowerment Perspective Group can help you and assist you, we definitely would love to make that happen. Give the people contact information one more time. How can they
Yes.
reach you?
So you can contact me via phone 646-573-8114. Again, my name is Maya Hall. Our website is teensharp.org, teensharp.org, and my email is maija.hall@teensharp.org.
And if she calls and leaves a message, you better call her back. Or else it's going to be a problem. So, any last words, sir, before we get out of here?
Any last words? I would say probably enjoy Now Later. You can have them now and you can have them later. But also, if you're a parent, please get your son or daughter involved, especially in Teen Sharp. This is an outstanding program, and they're really doing big things here in Camden.
All right. So until next time, stay empowered.